Back in the day, 42 years ago, this bike was known for being the Burnout King. You get a bunch of your friends together and destroy perfectly good tires in front of all your friends. Now my GS has a 530 chain conversion from 630. It's got overdrive gearing, 16 in front, 40 in back. Thank you, Vlad, for all of that, and a Regina chain. And it's just been perfect for many, many years now. I don't even know. I'd have to look at the manual how many miles. Seems like it's lasting every bit as long as the 630 chain. And it needs very infrequent adjustments, but every once in a while it does need adjustment, and today's the day before we head out on the open road for another great fall day. Join us for the ride. So a couple of the things that add to chain life is, number one, having an oversized countershaft sprocket. The bigger you make the countershaft sprocket, in this case it's overdrive, 16 instead of 15 teeth, the chain has to bend a lot less severely, and it contributes to the life of the chain being longer. Put a smaller countershaft sprocket on, and guaranteed it's going to reduce the life of the chain. Not keeping it clean, not keeping it adjusted, and I'm fussy about it. I spend the time, and this is diesel fuel and some clean rags, and try not to pinch yourself in the sprocket. Ask me how I know. But anyway, I really do like to over-maintain the chain, if nothing else. Boy, and I can tell when the chain is too loose, when you back off the gas and you feel that sloppiness. I don't know what that is, but what contributes to it. But I know when I get the chain in good adjustment, it goes away. And keeping it lubed, chain wax is what I use all the time. Keeping it clean, and I think it contributes to the life of the chain. Any enjoyment you get riding a bike, just like having a clean bike, clean wheels, clean everything. Dirty bike is not for me. But anyway, I have another little quirk that I do every morning while I'm pre-flighting a bike. I go get Karen a flower out of the garden. Yep, there's still some flowers. And usually when I get back from a ride, she'll surprise me with some goodie for me. But it's time to ride. Now, no matter what kind of riding you enjoy, whether you enjoy riding on a track, dirt bike riding, touring, going all over the world like Henry Hawk, it doesn't matter. If you ride motorcycles, I know we have something in common. I know we have something we can talk about, exchange emails about, exchange pictures, exchange videos. And having that passion for motorcycling, all motorcycling, to me is one of the things that's allowed me to have the life that I've been able to have. I'm 79 years old. I'm out here riding a 42-year-old motorcycle, and I'm still having the best time of my life, and I'm trying to share it with you every chance I get on these videos. Now at Rutt's Hut a couple of years ago, the guys went out in the street, the guys with the drag bikes, and they were doing burnouts, one right after another. And the smell of the rubber in the pits, it was like being at the drags with Jim Skinner. It brought back so many memories back in the day. It was just like that. And I often wonder, of all of the bikes, the GS1100s that were manufactured by Suzuki, how many of them ultimately wound up with hot rod engines, big long swing arms, and doing a lot of burnouts. One reason this bike always was the Burnout King, this bike, and I know Suzuki thought they were cute doing this, they geared this bike very low. I know the bike was geared lower than if they were not concerned with elapsed times and top speeds. They would have geared it a lot higher. I geared mine one tooth higher and two teeth less in the back. And I know having the overdrive gearing on this bike, yeah, you lose a little bit of acceleration. Maybe that's true. Maybe not. You lose ability to do big burnouts. But the overdrive gearing means you get a lot better mileage when you're on a highway especially, and it adds to the life expectancy of the engine, I'm sure, and cuts down to some degree on high speed vibration from the engine over 5,000 RPM. Being able to cruise Route 80 in what amounts to be overdrive gearing, that 1640 is the magic number for me, and the conversion to 530, I got it all from Vlad. Thank you. And of all the bikes in this era, I think this bike, more than anyone, is known for becoming a drag bike. And so many people always ask you, you always have people wanting to buy those engines for whatever reason. And I know Jim Skinner had a spare one when we were up by his shop. And I have the spare parts bike engine, and I want to keep all these parts because this is a bike I want to keep until the day I die. And I want to be able to replace if I break a lever or break a switch or something. Having a parts bike worth its weight, totally in gold. And I love the styling of the era, that big 9-inch headlight, and boy, is that headlight ever full of wires and connectors. Anybody that's never taken one apart, you're in for a real thrill. And I always think back in the day, Suzuki got a lot of stuff right with this bike. The maintenance is easy. They took that into account. And except for that headlight. That headlight can really be, I'm not kidding either. And one of the few downsides of this bike that Suzuki could have engineered better maybe, is when you have to take the airbox off, when you take the carburetors off of the airbox, and it's cold outside, and those rubber boots get a little bit old when they get to be 40 years old, 42 years old. You need to have some friends that are octopuses to help you do it. But I've done it many times. It does not have to be done often. And that is the one thing about the bike. I wish Suzuki would have figured out a better way to do that, the carburetor removal. I always wanted to keep. I know what people are thinking, why didn't you just put pods on it and a 4-into-1 exhaust? No, I wanted it to be as stock as it possibly could be. I knew in the long run, as years went by, that would make it easier to maintain the bike. But in the long run, it turned out that after 80,000 miles, maybe I made the right decision, I don't know. I know some of the people that have hot rodded them up, I don't know. Some people have had real good success. And some people go crazy trying to get the jetting right when they put an aftermarket exhaust on. I just figured if I kept everything stock and just put a lot of miles on a bike, that would work for me. And it did. And I find for me, the bike, totally stock, is plenty thrilling to ride, and it satisfies every one of my needs. And in fact, to me, it even handles pretty good. And I've ridden a lot of 40 and 50 and even more old bikes that didn't handle well, didn't have good suspension. This one I think is a unique, and it stood the test of time. And I know some of my friends, Henry Hawk, Scott, among them, are looking aggressively to add one to their collection. Guys, best of luck. They are getting harder and harder to find, and really hard to find with the exhaust and airbox. But for me, I have two. I know Dallas has two, and I know most people that have one want a second one right away. There's just something about these bikes. And in the state of Jersey, once you register a bike as a historic bike, you never have to pay again. It's basically a free bike for life. And of course, all styling is in the eye of the beholder. And even a beautiful day like today, the leaves are there's still some leaves on the trees. It's beautiful out. But it's time to get back to the farm. I have a sneaking feeling Karen's going to have a surprise for me. She loves it when I bring her a flower before I go out on a ride. Let's see what she's got when I get home. So all during this ride, I was thinking of a great way to end the video. And I thought, what I'd do, I'd go get the tripod, put it out in front of the house, and do a nice big burnout. I'm not sure my neighbors would really appreciate that. I'm not sure. Maybe the tire manufacturers love burnouts, but not my neighbors. Anyway, maybe we'll save that for Jim Skinner when he gets his full drag bike out. We can do some burnouts together and see who can do the biggest burnout. Right now, at this point in my life, tire life is more important than burnout, and being safe, of course. So, hope you did enjoy sharing this lovely day with us. This was a very special day, and I hope you're enjoying it as much as I am. So while I was out riding, I come home and there's caramel chocolate chip cookies here. This is in honor of they're caramel too. In honor of Fast Mike. And they are, oh my God, they are delicious. Oh my God, I gotta have more than one. They are great, yeah. So if you're new to our channel, or this is the first video of ours you've seen, we do have over 3,100 videos out there. You can search for any topic, all-season riding, graphics, paintwork, custom work, changing tires, and the list goes on and on forever. Riding with our friends, riding alone, riding when the leaves change, riding when there's no leaves at all, riding older bikes, 42-year-old bikes, riding relatively new bikes, doing some carbon fiber repairs. We do stuff on our channel you might not see anyplace else on the internet, repairing fairings with CA. And we try to put out a video almost every day. So I appreciate it if you subscribe and support the channel. It helps the channel grow, of course. Helps me make some more interesting videos that you may enjoy in the future. And we just love every bike in our collection. We love every motorcycle, to be honest. I don't see any bad motorcycles that there's any reason not to be happy about them. I have 9 altogether, 7 registered, 4 historic. I love every one of them. I love to help other people work on their bikes whenever I can. And we try to hang out with our friends as often as possible. And again, I hope you did enjoy the video. And thanks so much for watching.